Happy Friday, everybody. It's hashtag FAQ Friday live from my office in Windermere. So this week's frequently asked question, I've just spent 2 days on the Cumbria Innovation Task Force, where it's actually bringing in a circular economy and ecosystem for the whole of Cumbria. And it's quite interesting to see, well, what are businesses doing right now, and what are they concentrated on? What's the ethics and values throughout the food and drink industry? And so this week's frequently asked question is coming from a different way of looking at it. And I'd like to ask you, I'd like to get your feedback as in eco, carbon neutral, net zero. What do they all mean to you? Sustainability, climate change, what do they mean to you in your business, and how do you measure it? How do you actually look at what you're doing in the hospitality industry or in your business as a whole if you're not in hospitality? Do you look at ways in which you can be more eco-friendly, be more carbon neutral or carbon zero or net zero? And I know that there are businesses out there that they commit to only sourcing ingredients from within a 20-mile radius or within a county radius, etc. But it was interesting speaking to a farmer the other day who said, well, it's all right saying that, but if you're looking for, say, legs of lamb, we've only got so many in the county to be able to support the hospitality industry and the food and drink industry, and that's not sustainable. And I thought, you've got a fair point there. And it is interesting to see what different individuals are doing. So in a cost basis in your business, you may be looking at being able to get a kickback from the brewery, for example, or actually it's cheaper if you buy in bulk and you do it that way. And when you're looking at that, is that the best way forward? Because when you're looking at the waste of the produce or the supplies that you are currently getting, does that not counteract the kickback or the bulk buy that you've been able to purchase under? So there's so many elements of waste management, eco-friendly, climate change, circular economy, ecosystem. I'd like to ask your take on it today as an FAQ Friday. So the frequently asked question has come from myself, that I just want to find out what you as a business are currently doing to be sustainable, to be eco-friendly, have a circular economy, because when you look at the circular aspect of nature just reinvents itself all the time, and yet we as human beings do not do that. We create waste on a global scale. As we know, we mess up with climate change, and I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of us, we have these great ethics where people are very, very hell-bent on making sure that they are going for the greater cause, but when you actually dig deeper, it isn't what it seems on the top line. And they may be doing, businesses might be doing great things, but then something else falls behind. So is it all encompassing throughout your business, or is it just a PR stunt, or what is it? Or is it the education that you're not sure about? Is it the information that's lacking? You're trying your best to do something, but you've got all these blocks appearing or obstacles that stop you going in that direction, that you're trying to actually overcome issues to become more eco-friendly within your organization to help and support the world on a global scale. So what are we all doing right now is the question. Within our business, are we actively looking for ways to decrease energy or decrease waste, or really look at working with our local suppliers and being able to actually bring the circular economy into our working practices and ecosystem within our organisation. So what are you doing right now to help and support that? And have you actually got the full information of whether it's sustainable or not? You know, we could have vegetables grown in an area, but is there enough to support you as an industry on the whole, or as you as a business on the whole, for the full season or the full year, or the full season of growth, etc. And will it be great for your customer base? Because right now there are more and more people looking for businesses who have all the boxes ticked on all the areas I've just mentioned, and they want to know what the story is, and are you expressing that throughout your social media channels, website, and public relations? Are you telling your guests how important it is to you and what you're actually doing? So it'd be great to hear in the comments below for this FAQ Friday that what your challenges are and how you're overcoming them, or do you need help in that area? Because we've got a task force that's looking to, make some massive positive difference in this area, but obviously it will help because it would be able to be mirrored in any other area across the UK in the first instance and beyond. So happy Friday, everybody. There's a lot in a lot of questions in there, with a lot of help and support out there, and it's, are you speaking to the right people, and is the information you already know correct or not? Because that was the demystifying some of the subjects, some of the information that came out in the task force in those 2 days that I was involved in, and what you think is correct sometimes isn't. When you actually ask the experts in their field, that is that the impact that's currently happening, and it's the exact opposite. So that's interesting. So what do you know, and how do you know about it, and is it absolutely correct, or is it a myth that you've been told for the greater good of something else? So it's always worth having that conversation. So please put in the comments below what your thoughts are, any questions that you might have about it, what problems you're facing, and how, or if you've overcome certain problems, what you've done to overcome that, and what myths do you believe in, or what information do you believe in that you think is real and they are actually a myth, or they're not as true as we think. So happy Friday, everybody. A lot to take in, but what are you doing in your business practices? And I think my elements of all this is, how are you exposing it to the outside world? Are you telling the story? Are you communicating? Are you living and breathing it? Are you training your team with regard to any of the elements that you are changing and making a positive difference with? Or are you just keeping quiet and not telling anybody? Because people now are booking with sustainability and looking for greener businesses to move forward with the carbon element as well as eco-friendly. So I hope that's helped. Happy Friday, everybody, and happy weekend. Take care. Thank you for joining me on #FAQ Friday. Thank you.